Hey folks, it's Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this time I am reviewing the Halloween box set from Stream Factory. Wonderful gift that a very nice guy named First Power 100 had sent me. So if the guy's listening or watching, if he ever wants me to do something, he can let me know, because this is a hell of a gift. It was a very much of a humongous surprise for me. Never expected that. I know there's going to be some assholes be like, well, you mentioned it. Yeah, I've mentioned it before because people have asked me. People ask me, when you don't pick this up, or when you don't pick this up. And they were being nice about it. But I mentioned it so that, because a lot of people were asking me about it. I said, I want to wait on it because I didn't want to spend that much money on this. So I can only imagine how much money he spent to me on this. But to get this as a free gift is... I have no problems with this set, considering this was a free gift. But I'll review it and give my honest opinion on stuff, but right off the bat, this is a fantastic gift, and I can't thank First Power 100 enough. 1,000 thank yous. This is a wonderful, excellent, fantastic gift. And if you're wondering why you see tape on it, there's tape on it because there's a slip that is will kind of fall off, and I taped it so that it would stick there more closely. It's kind of like this top portion here. Anyway, just that's the front, and this is the... Not only did he give me the set, but he got me the 15 disc set. So there's the front, the top, the back, which lists the features, at least a lot of them, the bottom, and then the side. Now, get into this box set. If you're wondering about that, why that one, Halloween 3 is different, is because, well, I'll get to it. But, yeah, this is the box set. And I have done reviews for all these films. So if I remember, I'm going to put the links down below to all the reviews I've done to these films. As well as I had already reviewed the Blu-rays of Halloween 2 and 3. And I'll try to remember to put those down below as well. So I know one or two people were asking me to re-review these films, but I've already reviewed these films, and what I feel about them in the reviews is how I feel about them to this day. My opinions have not changed. And again, the reviews, if I remember right, should be down below in the info box below this video. But real quick, like, the first Halloween I think is a classic. Have no problems. I mean, what more can you say about the original Halloween that hasn't been said? Then you look into the video down below to watch, but Halloween is Halloween. Halloween 2 was the first one I ever saw. I love Halloween 2. Love the atmosphere. I love the score. It's not a carbon copy of the first one, the score. It does have a bigger body count. I love the hospital setting. Cool to see people like Lance Guest and Leo Rossi. Donald Pleasance, I thought, had a little bit more to do. I love the finale. I mean, getting shot, the tears of blood. I just love. Again, I love the atmosphere. I love Halloween 2. It was the first one I saw, and that's not the reason why I love it. I just love it because for those reasons and more. And like I said in my review, you can look down below in the review. Halloween 3, I think, is very underrated. I will admit, there's a couple plot holes, like the android woman that you find out is an android, and is, wait a minute, if she was an android earlier, why didn't she stop Tom Atkins? There's some plot holes. But Halloween 3, they went in another direction. I don't love or hate something just because it's different. It's how it's done. I thought Halloween 3, again, had really good atmosphere, capable direction by Tom Lee Wallace, great performance by Tom Atkins, excellent score. John Carper and Alan Howarth, excellent score. The ideas were pretty interesting. Some surprising gore. Really good scenes, like the kid with the pumpkin mask and that turns into bugs and stuff. Uh, and really enough, if you think of the first three Halloweens, they all have in common with the movie The Last Starfighter, which I really enjoy because in the first film, the director of The Last Starfighter, Ned Castle, played Michael Myers. In the second film, you have Lance Guest, who was The Last Starfighter. And in the third film, you have, what was his name? He played the alien in The Last Starfighter. Dan O'Herlihy, I believe. Yeah, Dan O'Herlihy, who is also the old man in RoboCop 1 and 2. He would be the alien who would be friends with Lance Guest in The Last Starfighter, so it's weird on that. But I really enjoy the film, and I do love the ending. The ending, I think of it as sort of a question mark. Granted, 90% you kind of know what direction it went, but you can think however you want. Halloween 4 I really enjoys the sequel. Thought Daniel Harris did a great job. Ellie Cornell, sort of a pumped up version of the first film. Some decent gore gags like the thumb in the forehead and the guy's neck being ripped. I thought capable direction and writing by Dwight Little and Alan McElroy. Donald Pleasant, I thought, did another great job. Some really good scenes like the sequence on the rooftop, the stalking sequence. Really enjoy Halloween 4, an interesting ending as well. Halloween 5, I think it's a total piece of shit. I ranted on the movie, you can check it down below. It's a total piece of shit. They made Donald Pleasance, his Loomis character, more of an asshole. They had Daniel Harris, they said the ending of Halloween 4, let's go this way for some reason. They introduced a Man in Black character that they themselves didn't even know why the fuck he was in there. They just wanted it. And we'll explain in part 6. They didn't even know why the fuck the Man in Black was in there. The shitty characters, killing off Ellie Cornell, which was a stupid idea because she was good in part 4. Having an annoying fucking girl. I think was it Wendy Kaplan, I think is the actress's name. The character was very fucking annoying. Having two cops that have fucking clown sound effects with them. Having another little kid who's a stutterer. Kids stutter in real life, I'm not gonna laugh at. But in a movie, it gets fucking annoying. Halloween 5 is a total piece of shit. Halloween the Curse of Michael Myers, I don't care which version it is, I think they both suck. If I'm going to be fair with Halloween 6, the theatrical cut, I'll give you... I like the sequence in the tunnel with the red lights that they go through at the end. And I like the kills. The asshole who gets blown up. The guy who gets his head turned and you see a bit of a spine. I like the gore. And I like the tunnel scene. But I think it's a stupid story. The Thorn cult shit. And the theatrical at the end, you had like these babies and fetuses and these canisters. And it's like, what, some scientific experiment gone fucked up? Whatever. Or the producer's cut, I think, is a piece of shit as well. Because I don't like the story. I think the story's stupid. I think the story sucks. The Man in Black was a stupid idea in Halloween 5 that they fucking they carried over. Either version, you have the Jamie character being treated like shit, killed. I don't care. Oh, she did get the producer's cut. Oh, great, she got stabbed, only to get shot in the head. So I'm like, what was the fucking point of extending it? She got stabbed only to be in the hospital and get shot in the head. Wow, big fucking difference. She still died. In a shitty way. Granted, it wasn't Daniel Harris playing her, but still. It was the character. Donald Pleasance. Okay, and the producer's cut, he has a little bit more to do. But it's nothing much. Still not that much. It was actually, okay, a couple more minutes. And to be honest, if I think about it, both endings suck. And one, he screams, so you think Loomis died, and in the other, he gets the mark, so he's pretty much the protector Michael Myers. So he's like kind of like turned into a bad guy, I guess, in a way, kind of. I mean, fuck, man. And Paul Rudd sucked acting-wise in the movie. With these weird fucking... Anyway. I think I might have said in my review that I thought maybe the producer's cut is a teeny bit better, but to be honest, I mean, I think the store and the theatrical cut, it's alright. It has those like guitar riffs. I'd probably say I like the store and the producer's cut more. Think about it. But the producer's cut also doesn't have the gore, because that was what they added in, and that was the whole story. But listen to the story was interesting, but the movie itself, I mean, even the third act of the producer's cut, I think they both suck ass. And I mentioned it in my review rants on them. H2O I do like. I do like the film. Jamie Lee Curtis I like. I like Adam Arkin. LL Cool J I think did alright. Josh Hartnett I don't mind. I like the third act, the finale. To me, H2O is the true ending to the film. Not this bullshit paramedic bullshit. But again, I reviewed H2O. You can look down below. Halloween Resurrection, I fucking hate the way it opens. I hate the first act of the film. The rest of it, I can watch. I'm the only guy on earth that doesn't hate Busta Rhymes. And I'm the only guy on earth that likes trick or treat, motherfucker. I liked it. I don't know why. I just do. I like the webcam type stuff. I like the kills. I don't mind the guy who's playing Michael Myers. I don't mind the look of the film. I don't mind. Yeah, I didn't mind Busta Rhymes. The rest of the cast, they were there. I know you have like Katie Sackhoff, who would go on to be that Battlestar Galactica show. I didn't watch Halloween Resurrection. My idea is fuck the first beginning, because it's shit, killing off Jamie Lee Curtis in a stupid way, and then a stupid explanation. Take the rest of the movie and put it as a prequel to H2O. Start with the girl in class going off until the end of the film, where Michael Myers wakes up in the body bag, and then he goes off and kills Joseph Gordon-Levitt at the beginning of H2O. Finds where Laurie Strode is, because he's in, and then fucks off to California. That's how I would rather look at it. Just watch the rest of the film as a prequel to H2O. At the end, he wakes up and then he goes to H2O. But fuck that beginning. And plus, it's weird that Josh Hartnett's character is never mentioned, even though he was a big part. Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2, fuck both of them up an ass. I did rants on them. Both of them can kiss my ass, and they take their fucking white horse and shove it up their ass. And Rob Zombie can make, Michael Myers look like him all he wants. And have dialogue that curses more than even me. I did rants on them. Those should be down below if you want to hear my thoughts. So I know it's 13 minutes in. Let me get into talking about the actual box set. And it does have a booklet, which is very cool. Infos on each film, as well as pictures, like H2O. Let's see. Just want to make sure. Halloween 2. Now get into the box set, which it's a good looking box set from Scream Factory. Now, again, on one hand, I have no problems with this because it was a free gift, and it's wonderful to have it. But the reason I wasn't going to get it right away is because, well, I'll be jumping ahead to this, but Halloween 2 and 3 are the same ones that I already had. For example, because I already had those from Scream Factory, and they're the exact same ones, but I'll get to those. Like, okay, the Blu-ray of the first film, and if you're wondering, each of these come in this like black cases. It's a 2-disc. The reason it's a 2-disc, disc 1 is the exact same except for one addition. is the same as the 35th anniversary. In fact, if you put the Blu-ray in, on the cover, on the menu, it says 35th anniversary. So literally it's the same. All they did was add a commentary. The new one they added was a commentary with director of photography Dean Cundy, editor Tom Lee Wallace, and Nick Castle, who played Michael Myers. It's much of a technical commentary, so if you want to know the technical aspects, that's the one to watch. If not, it won't interest you. The other stuff is from the 35th anniversary Blu-ray. Like, for example, you have the commentary, which was fine with me to have this because I didn't have that on Blu-ray. I didn't have that. I just had the old Divimax like 25th anniversary DVD. So I was fine with having this. This is no problem with me. I'm just letting people know that if you had the 35th anniversary Blu-ray of Halloween that they released earlier, you had the same thing, only they added one commentary, which, unless you're really much into technical, you're probably not going to care about. Especially when the info you probably got in all the other features. But just so I didn't have the 35th anniversary, it was cool to, for example, to have John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis in the same room doing a commentary, which was a fun commentary, and you get the idea that Jamie Lee Curtis is kind of a fraidy cat for horror movies. But it's a fun, interesting commentary. You have a really good hour-long feature called The Night She Came Home. This is when Jamie Lee Curtis, who never does conventions, she did a convention once for Horror Hound. Sean Clark was there as well. It's cool to see him on there. And she came in for a couple nights for charity. All the proceeds go to charity. And she really comes off as a very nice lady. And it's her at the convention signing and personalizing and interacting with everyone. And there's a shitload of people there. This once-in-a-lifetime thing, which you buy with Jamie Lee Curtis, because, again, she was doing this just for charity. And it was fun to watch. Fun to see how the fans talking about what they think of Halloween. And just if you're a Jamie Lee Curtis fan, it's definitely worth a watch. It was really interesting to watch. And it was like an hour long, very interesting to see. And for a good cause, a children's hospital in California, I believe. So it was very nice to see. On location 25 years later is a little featurette from back in the day. Mostly Deborah Hill, may she rest in peace, talking about, again, years later, and pretty much you've seen that in older DVDs. Title speaks for itself. TV version footage, again, just showing the footage that was shot for TV, like Donald Pleasance talking to the committee, you should not move Michael, don't mess with him. And then him going to see Michael, and it's like, you may have fooled him, but you haven't fooled me. And like one or two other little things. A trailer, TV spots, radio spots. And then this too is the old Blu-ray from before. I guess disc 1 has the picture quality was supervised by Dean Cundy, and a lot of times I'm bad at talking about picture quality and stuff, so I'm not really the right guy for it. I know some people said that the 2007, I think it was 2007 Blu-ray, something like that, that the picture wasn't, it was either brighter or whatever it was. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, the film on each disc, so you could, whichever version you prefer. And when I say version, I mean like picture quality wise. And this too has the old commentary where John Carpenter, Jamie Lee Curtis, and Deborah Hill were in did it separately. They put it together. And the 87-minute documentary Halloween, a cut above the rest, which was on the old DVDs. And then again, trailer TV spots. So, considering I did not have the 35th anniversary Blu-ray, this is very cool. To see The Night She Came Home, the commentary where John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis are in the same room, and the film looks nice. So very nice to see that. And I know on the bonus disc has the what's that called? Halloween Unmasked 2000, which was on the older DVD. But this is very nice. Now, Halloween 2 is the exact same one, well, that I have over here. These are exact same. Only this one has the great, very cool cover. But it's the same thing. It's a 2-disc. Disc 2 is the TV version, disc 1. And I already reviewed this Blu-ray. I didn't. I'll remember to put that as one of the first ones down below in the info box. But I already reviewed the Blu-ray when it was this. Now, I'm probably going to keep this because this has the cool cover. But that was the thing. This is the exact same one. I mean, it has the commentary with Rosenthal and Leo Rossi, commentary with Dick Warlock, 40-some minute documentary, The Nightmare Isn't Over, which was very cool. Horror's Hallowed Grounds, which is Sean Clark revisiting locations. That's always a lot of fun. Him meeting Robert Rusler from Elm Street 2 was a lot of fun. Deleted scenes, alternate endings, stuff like that. I mean, the exact same one as this. Same with this. The Halloween 3 Blu-ray is the same as this. I already had 2 and 3. And that copy I'm actually sending to someone. It won't be for a week or two, but because I already have it. So, sending that to someone. Because again, I already have these. And it's the exact same ones. So, I'll just keep this because this has, again, a really cool cover on it. So that was the thing when I was talking about before. It depends how much stuff you've gotten in the past. Like, for example, if you're the type of guy who had already bought the 35th anniversary Blu-ray of Halloween, had already bought this, and had already bought this, well, right off the bat, the first 3 films, you're like, well, fuck, I already have all the stuff for it. I already have this on Blu-ray, this on Blu-ray, the first film on Blu-ray, and all that's added is a technical commentary. And you're like, again, for me, it's fine because I did not have the first film on Blu-ray with all that stuff on it. But if you're one that did, you're like, well, shit, And speaking of which, get into Halloween 4 and 5 Blu-rays. These are Blu-rays from, I believe, Anchor... Was it Echo Bridge? Echo Bridge, Anchor Bay... Fuck. Might have been Anchor Bay. I don't know. They had released Halloween 4 and 5 on Blu-rays. And pretty much it's the same stuff. Except, Halloween 4 I'm keeping my DVD. Now you're going, well, why are you keeping the DVD? I know, first off, that some people have complaints about this Blu-ray because there was audio issues out of sync. I didn't notice it on mine, but I know other people did. So if you ever buy that, you make sure you check this to see if there's audio issues. I think there's a thing online that you can get a replacement. The reason I'm keeping my DVD is because on this DVD, first off, there's 2 things that are missing from that. I don't know why. Maybe it was on, maybe when these films got on Blu-ray, they didn't have this. In fact, I think I heard that these 2 were not on the older Blu-rays of this. They just copy and pasted it. Well, if they added a commentary on that, they could have added it on this. And what I'm talking about is there's a commentary and a discussion panels that are on this DVD but are not on there. And what I'm talking about is there is an audio commentary with writer Alan B. McElroy. And this is a commentary that I really enjoy. The Alan B. McElroy, I think, is one of the best commentaries of the Halloween films. for me personally, I find it very entertaining. I find it interesting. A lot of information about the making of the film. I think the guy moderating him, Anthony Massey, I believe, he seems like very into it, very excited to be there. Doesn't sound bored. And Alan B. McElroy sounds like he wants to be there, and he's giving a lot of information. Alan B. McElroy, guy who wrote, he would write Wrong Turn and Rapid Fire. Seems like a really cool guy. That commentary is nowhere to be found. Why? I have no idea. But that's why I'm keeping this DVD. And the second thing they don't have is the Halloween 4 and 5 discussion panel. Because there's around the time this had come out, and you had discussion panels for 1, 2, 6, some other stuff. And there was no 4 and 5, probably because to put it on this. Maybe this wasn't the same time, I don't know. I'm just, well, I think it was because it's 25 Years of Terror and you had Halloween 2006. So, yeah. Yeah, around that time. The Halloween 4 and 5 discussion panel that was on this are not on there either. So the Halloween 4 and 5 discussion panel are not on this Blu-ray, and the commentary with that writer Alan B. McElroy is not on this Blu-ray. So I'll keep my DVD, but just letting people know. And if you're wondering about why I didn't talk much about Halloween 3, is I already did a review of Halloween 3 Blu-ray as well, which I'll put down below. I already did a review of this. I think it was a great Blu-ray. Commentary with Tom Lee Wallace, with Sean Clark was on there. Commentary with Tom Atkins. The making of Halloween 3, which is really interesting. Horror's Hallowed Grounds, the locations of Halloween 3 with Sean Clark. A teaser trailer, theatrical trailer, TV spots. Again, really good Blu-ray. And I already reviewed this, so go to the video down below to hear my thoughts on this, because again, I already talked about it. And my thoughts on it are the same. And that commentary with Alan B. McElroy on the DVD, I think is a really good commentary. A lot of good information on the film. About stuff that that was changed from the script, how he came up with certain ideas, the making of the film, because he was on set. Now, it does have the other commentary that DVD has is on here with Elliot Cornell and Danielle Harris. Decent commentary, pretty much them sort of enjoying the film and about their experiences on set. It was alright. Now, there's another commentary that's not on that DVD, but I think it was on the previous Blu-ray. So for some reason, they didn't get the commentary with Alan B. McElroy, but they got the commentary on the previous Blu-ray. Again, probably just because there's a copy and paste. Because that Blu-ray, I think, has the same thing as this Blu-ray has. And even that Blu-ray was missing that stuff. The Halloween 4 and 5 discussion panel and the Alan B. McElroy commentary. Because it does have the Elliot Cornell, Danielle Harris commentary, and it does have the commentary with director Dwight H. Little with this guy named Justin Beam, which I found, honestly, to be a boring commentary. I think there's some reviews that like the commentary. I found it boring. To be honest, I would just rather listen to the commentary with the writer. I thought it was more interesting. It was more fun to listen to. And Ellie Massey seems like he's laughing, he's having fun. Justin Beam sounds like he's bored to death. Like, hello, Mr. Dwight Little. What is it about Michael Myers that blah, 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 blah. I'm like, Jesus Christ, are you at a seminar? Loosen up. But, anyway, I didn't really care for the commentary with Dwight H. Little. I thought it was kind of boring. To be honest, I could just listen to them in the documentary, which I'll get to. That's on the bonus disc, to be perfectly honest. But let me check something real quick. Just want to check something real quick, like. Because now that I think about it, I don't think he was on the documentary, actually. Now that I think about it, whoops. Huh. I know I think he was on the older one, though. He was on the older one, though, which is on this DVD, which is on the bonus disc. The final cut, Halloween 4 final cut. Yeah, I don't think he's on the bid documentary, but he's on the one from that was on that old DVD. The Making of Halloween 4 final cut. I believe so. I guess he's so forgettable that I forgot already, Dwight H. Little, but I didn't care for the commentary. And then it has a trailer, and that's it for Halloween 4. I mean, seriously, I think this is the exact same one that Anchor Bay did. I mean, I was going to look for a date, but I think this is the exact same Blu-ray that was there before. So not much of a change. And Halloween 5, which you know my thoughts on, I believe this is the same Blu-ray as before. I think on the DVD, the only difference on the DVD, there's like a little 30-second intro with Ellie Cornell and Daniel Harris up to the film. Now, when it went from DVD to Blu-ray, the old Blu-ray, they added one feature, which was another commentary, and then all that stuff was carried over to this. So this is on the other Blu-ray, and on the DVD, the audio commentary with Dominique Othen and Gerard, actors Daniel Harris and Jeffrey Landman. Actually, I'm not sure about this other stuff that was on the other Blu-ray. The Halloween 5 on the set and Halloween 5 original promo, which is little stuff. I'm not sure if that was on the older one, to be honest. That one, not sure. If, I don't know what was on the older Blu-ray, but I'm sure people will let me know. But Dominique Othen and Gerard with Daniel Harris and Jeffrey Landman. Jeffrey Landman has some info on the film. He was the guy who played the stuttering kid. Daniel Harris, she's okay. I don't know. I just don't like listening to Dominique Othen and Gerard. I really don't like listening to him because he just seems. Oh, just one of those things I listen to him and I'm like, the fuck are you talking about, dude? Like, really? Like, that's what you think? Like, I don't know how to put it. It just. I don't know, like, I listen to him, I'm like, this guy's full of shit. I don't know what it is about it. I just can't describe it. Just like, it's not because he's French. It's just like, really? Dominique Othen and jerk off? Really? Really? What was like he was eccentric? I don't know. I did not mind though the commentary with actor Don Shames who played Michael Myers because listening to him here and on the documentaries, he seems like a cool guy. And I think that's why. There's a couple of slow spots. I'm like, but he was cool to listen to, Don Shames. He was cool to listen to. That'd be a commentary I listen to again. And I'm not going to go in depth on what a commentary is. I mean, I'm just not that. I mean, it's a lot of stuff to go through. It's already 30-some minutes in. But I didn't mind that commentary with Don Shames who played Michael Myers. He seems like a cool guy. But yeah. This might be a newer one because I looked at this older one and Stream Factory's name is not on there. Like Stream Factory, I only see Anchor Bay. I don't see Stream Factory. Transit International Anchor Bay. But I looked at this one and I do see a little Stream Factory there. So they might have added the Halloween 5 on the set and original promo. I could be wrong. But I find it funny that I looked at this. There's no Stream Factory at all on the disc, just Anchor Bay. But I look at this one, there's Stream Factory right there underneath my finger. So, interesting. Or maybe not, I don't know. Maybe it's not that interesting. But, like, so, again, that was sort of the thing, like, I'm not sure if I want to buy it, because Halloween Resurrection is pretty much the same thing, only except one thing added, and it's, Halloween Resurrection. It's not like it's not a fucking great movie. These films, the same as, I hate these fucking movies to death, so I didn't give a fuck if they had a fucking Holy Grail in there. I just wouldn't give a fuck. But I'm still glad to have this because of some of the stuff I get to. And like Halloween 1, great to have that because I didn't have that on Blu-ray. Halloween 5, I didn't have that on Blu-ray. It was nice to listen to Don Shanks. He seems like a cool guy. So it was nice to listen to that as well. So like, the Halloween 1 Blu-ray, even the Halloween 5 Blu-ray, again, I like the commentary with the guy who played Michael Myers. I didn't mind that. Although, a little bit too many quiet spots. Then the one that everyone was wanting, Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. I think this is, a lot of people got this because of the producer's cut. Which, fuck the producer's cut. I don't give a shit about the producer's cut. The producer's cut can kiss my ass. And the theatrical cut too. But I will say the features, I mean, on the theatrical, it's only like 3 trailers and like 8 TV spots. And TV spots that, first off, they have like, some of them have this song from Brother Kane called And Full Shine On. And some of them was like, final confrontation. I'm like, yeah, the ending of the film, either one, there's nothing final about it. Now, the producer's cut has a lot of features. I found the features to be very interesting. More interesting than the movie. The commentary with screenwriter Daniel Farrans and composer Alan Howarth on the producer's cut was interesting. Honestly, the composer Alan Howarth, he just should not have been on there. Because he didn't really offer anything. Like, to be honest, he didn't really offer anything. Anything at all. Before I go on, it is interesting some of the people that are missing. I mean, there's little stuff like H2O. Steve Myers on the commentary track, but he's not on the documentary. And no Adam Arkin, no LL Cool J, no Michelle Williams, no Kevin Williamson. I'm talking about interviews. Let's see. Like, what was I going to say? Like Halloween 4. I don't think Dwight H. Little, I fucking already forgot if he was interviewed for the documentary or not. Part of me wants to say he was, but he's not on the sleeve here. Like, I'm looking like the bonus disc. He's not on there for some reason, if he was. I can't fucking remember. For some reason, I wanted to say he was, but maybe he wasn't. I like that documentary. I just, for some reason, Dwight Little just he escapes my mind. The reason I brought that up is the director Joe Chappelle is nowhere to be seen on the features. Interesting enough. But screenwriter Daniel Farrans, even though I'm sorry, I think he still wrote a shitty story. He comes off as a nice guy, and I found his commentary interesting. He talks about differences between the theatrical and the producer's cut. He also talks about how even the producer's cut is not really the script he wrote, meaning it's closer in his eyes than the theatrical cut. But like, for example, he wanted Danielle Harris to come back. He wanted her character to survive till the end and have this big battle with Michael Myers and die heroically, and that there was going to be all this other stuff. And even he admits that the third act of the film is where it really, even in the producer's cut, there goes haywire, and I agree. I mean, I don't. Both versions I don't like. I mean, the theatrical cut, I just say, hey, there's some cool gore, which apparently they did the film, there was a lot of cooks in the kitchen, and then finally, like for example, Weinstein's like, hey, you can have this gore stuff, you can have this and that. And that guy writes down, is like, uh, we're not doing that crap. Producers being like, there are cards and stuff. A lot of cooks in the kitchen. Interesting backstory, I will say. What was the other thing I was going to say? Yeah, that they made the film and the producers cut, and how, you know, they would not have minded going back and reshooting stuff. But then the Weinsteins are like, you know, fuck this, you know, give us the movie. Have more flash cuts, flash cutting, take out some stuff. We don't care for this explanation, so, you know, we don't care for this cult stuff in the third act. Make it some scientist medical shit, which I think both suck. I think this whole story sucks. So I don't give a fuck which one, but at least I'm torn because on the producer's cut, at least you get a bit more Donald Pleasance. And, you know, I would say a better score. I didn't listen to the score in the theatrical cut, but I think the score in the producer's cut is better. In the theatrical cut, I like the scene in the tunnel with the red lights, and I like the gore. So I don't fucking know. I'm not a big fan of either version, but definitely good for the collection, though, I will say. Not only do you have the commentary, you have Jamie's story, an interview with Daniel Harris. This was pretty awesome, actually. Because Daniel Harris goes in and, like, she had heard in the grapevine that they were doing another one. No one had contacted her. She's like, well, wait a minute. Maybe, you know, I wouldn't mind doing it. And then she was like 17. You can't do it unless you're 18 or something like that. And I don't know what the deal is with that. I guess because if you're 18 or older, you can work longer at nights. And then she had to pay her own money in order to go to a court in order to be like, yeah, I'm 17, but let me do it anyway. That went through. She went in. She was something like she was thinking, these people don't know Halloween, and I'm pregnant with my uncle's baby. What? And I don't want to die like that. And like, Daniel Harris was cursing, that was actually really cool, because like apparently this woman had called. This woman had told her, well, your character is steel character, so we're not giving you any more money. And she's like, well, I guess I mean nothing to you then. And then she was pissed off, and, you know, had to spending money to be able to do it. And she was cursing like, you know, I think that's fucked up. This kind of fucked up. You know, it's like the people tell you, you know, that, you know, hey, we don't give a shit about you. And I don't want to paint that she was coming off as whining. She was coming off as, I get exactly what she means, and she's cursing, and she's still hot. I think that's really cool. I really liked it. It was only like 7 minutes long, but that was my favorite one because I hate the movie. So I thought that was really cool to see. You get the Curse, an interview with producers Malika Todd and Paul Freeman, about how there's a bidding war for the rights. That's why it was from 89 to 95, why it took that long. About there was like Carpenter New Line. Carpenter was with New Line because he was doing stuff like In the Mouth of Madness. And then the Weinsteins got it. They want to take the series in a new direction. Director had to try to answer to the studio and the producer and the writer, and that the Weinsteins wanted more blood. They wanted a definite explanation. Pretty much that the Weinstein cut, the theatrical cut, is a more faster paced, bloodier, blood and guts, while the producer's cut is more suspense and terror and the cult, more of the cult thing, which, again, the story, the idea sucks. In my opinion. Acting scared, I looked at the film's cast with actresses Maria O'Brien, who played the main character, her brother's girlfriend. And then J.C. Brandy, who played the Daniel Harris character for like a couple minutes. Not much to it. I mean, I think was it Maria O'Brien talked about how she's now like a decorator. There's like a story she was decorating Edgar Wright's house, and she mentioned that she was in a Halloween film, and Edgar Wright got excited about that. Uh, you have The Shape of Things that looked at Michael Myers' murders and mayhem with special makeup effects artist John Carl Beekler, Brad Hardin, and actor George P. Wilbur. That was interesting. I think that's the one where John Carl Beekler, like Harvey Weinstein, said, go buck wild, but then the producer says we're not doing any of that crap. So that's what I mean. There's a lot of friction. Haddonfield's Horrors, Decisive Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers, with director of photography Billy Dixon and production designer Brad Ryman and director of photography Thomas Calloway. It was there. Interview with composer Alan Howarth. See, Alan Howarth works well. I mean, it's fine in an interview. He just does not work on a commentary. Cast a true tribute to Dow Pleasance, just pretty much people giving their words on it, which was nice. Archival interviews of behind-the-scenes footage, which was interesting. 30 minutes of behind-the-scenes footage. Alternate deleted scenes not present in either cut of the film, including the death scene where the guys in the theatrical go cut at the bars, and you see the head going more forward and pieces fall to the floor. Trailer, TV spots, a teaser trailer when there was Halloween 666, the origin of Michael Myers. So, I don't care for the films, but the features are really interesting. So, I'm glad to have this to check those features. It was really cool. I thought the commentary was actually interesting. Even if it's a film I don't like, commentary can be interesting because I like hearing about the making of films and, friction, and it's interesting to me. Let's see. Yeah, some drink. Now we get to Halloween H2O, which this is very cool to see. You have a commentary with Steve Miner and Jamie Lee Curtis, moderated by Sean Clark. Sean Clark doesn't get too many words, too much to say, even though he's the moderator. But that's because Jamie Lee Curtis, Steve Miner, they don't really need a lot of prodding. They talked a lot about the film. They seem to like the film, proud of the film. And then the making of the film is like 58 minutes long. Now, again, Steve Meyer's on the calendar, but he's not in the interviews, so I don't know why. He interviewed for Lake Placid, but not this. I mean, he's on the calendar, but not in the interviews. I don't know why. No LL Cool J. But, I mean, still, Jamie Lee Curtis, Josh Hartnett, Jolie Lynn O'Keefe, Nancy Stevens, Adam Ham-Bird, Tom Kane, who did the voice of Dr. Loomis at the beginning of the film, editor Patrick Lussier, producer Malika Todd, producer Paul Freeman, composer John Ottman, Chris Duran, who played Michael Myers, writer Robert Zappia, stunt coordinator Donna Keegan, makeup Brad Hardin, cinematographer Darren Okada. Yeah, screenplay by Robert Zappia and Matt Greenberg. I wonder if Matt Greenberg is the alias of Kevin Williamson. Because if it's not, they don't mention a damn thing about Matt Greenberg. Matt Greenberg is like... But Robert Zappia just came up with the... Yeah. The making of... I mean, before getting that, it also has vintage interviews and behind-the-scenes footage. I think in total it's like 45 minutes. Total for both of those. Has a trailer and a TV spot. I think there's a music video for the Creed song, but it's not on here. But I think there was a music video for the Creed song at the end. What's his life for? But it's not on there. But considering the DVD was pretty much not too much on it, cool to see this. Um, I'm not sure if there was something on there that wasn't on this. Should check real quick. I don't know. There might have been a little feature from back in the day that was on there that I can't remember though. But get a lot of cool info. I mean, they explained further. You heard a little bit on Halloween 25 Years of Terror, but explain more about the idea for the film, about how the Robert Zappia, when he came on board, it was going to be a direct-to-video film. And his idea was that it was kind of like Silence of the Lambs, where a killer worked with or some guy worked with a detective to try to find Michael Myers. It was at an all-girls school. Sounds like a shitty idea. But then Jamie Lee Curtis said she wanted to be involved. And Jamie Lee Curtis said she wanted to do the film because it was 20 years later and to be able to actually kill Michael Myers, so on and so forth. Now, the big bombshell for me, it doesn't sound stupid to people, is apparently about, and this is going off both the documentary and the commentary, so that the Weinsteins were fine with this being the last one. Well, it's not that much of a bombshell, but still, it's like, I know Mustafa Akkad, may he rest in peace, but, well, there's no but, may he rest in peace, it's sad what happened. Here's the reason why Jamie Lee Curtis, apparently a week before shooting, found out that Mustafa Akkad in his contract said that Michael Myers can't die. And she's like, no one told me this? And then she didn't want to do the film because in the contract it's like, okay, you can't kill Michael Myers, and then there'll be a sequel, and then you'll be contractually obligated to do one, and so on. But pretty much it was like, well, like either quit, but, you know, there's all these people who'd be out of a job, plus paycheck. Or I can do it. So pretty much yearly occurs is like, you know, I mean, a week or so until shooting. Because even Steve Miner in the commentary says this, or someone says, you know, the script was not done, was not nearly finished until like the 11th hour. And pretty much, she's like, fine, I'll do it, but if you don't make another one, just kill me off at the beginning because I don't want to keep doing these. Because I wanted to do this for a final one, and if you're just going to keep doing that, if I can never kill him, what's the point? I can't really blame her. But she's like, but I want to make sure that at least the audience seeing it will think that I actually killed him. And maybe in her mind, I think there's actually a Q&A from that night she came home. I think the Q&A she did is actually full length on the YouTube, and I saw it. And I think like 36 minutes in, she's like talking about it, or 37, 38. And it seemed like to her, this is the final one. I think to a lot of people, this is the final one. But they knew from the beginning, before this film was shot, that there was going to be Halloween Resurrection. So that's why at the end, you see Michael Myers doing this when he's stuck there. Of course, even Sean Clark on the commentary mentions, what, is the mask glued on him? Why doesn't he just take it off? Exactly. Sean Clark, that's what I said. Great minds think alike, motherfucker. But it's weird. On the commentary, they talk about Kevin Williamson, but on the documentary, they only mention Kevin Williamson once for like 20 seconds. And that there had to be some bullshit reasoning, so Kevin Smith had to come up with it. And that was, okay, you don't cut his head off, but because of these one or two things, they could do that in the sequel. Halloween Resurrection. But they don't talk about. Let's see, what's some of the stuff they talked about? They don't talk about Kevin Williamson much on the documentary, which is weird. And Jamie Lee Curtis is on the documentary, but she's not in it too much. I think it's because she was on the commentary. She's in a little bit. But it's a 15-minute long one. I mean, Josh Hartnett, it was his first film, and he talks about how, they will always try to fix his hair to look perfect, and he's thinking, well, people wouldn't have their hair perfect, so you always have a hat on until the last minute, and then take it off, and would get people mad. They talk about the whole thing with the mask, and how there's a mask from TMB. They were like shooting quite a few weeks, and then they hated it, and then they got another one. The Halloween 6 mask was used in one scene. Then they got a Stan Winston mask, which you heard a little bit on the Halloween 25 used it here, but they go a little bit more in depth on that. Also, the John Ottman store, about how they pretty much just, I think it was mimicked and stuff. They just, Marco Beltrami, they just took that. And like, well, if we had another week or two, we would have replaced the whole store, and they really didn't like John Ottman's store. Which that's another thing, that it's not on the back, but for like, you actually hear a lot of John Ottman's score on a, it's not really featurette, but they show like 24 minutes of the film, and you get to hear John Ottman's score. Actually, not that bad, John Ottman's score. Probably say I prefer that more than the Marco Beltrami score. But like, well, it doesn't sound like a Halloween film. Well, some people would say it's not a Halloween film, it's more like a Scream film. But I'm trying to think of actual like stories. Other than the masked one, the music thing, the whole thing with the Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, wanted John Carpenter to do it. He said no. I think Adam Hamburr, the guy who is pretty much Josh Hartnett's friend, he said at one point he was going to be a copycat killer in the film. But this is when the script wasn't finished before the making of the film, so they, changed that. Let's see, I'm trying to think about certain endings of the film that was in the previous scripts. That one was like in a swimming pool, I think the indoor swimming pool, and she was able to like cut his head off or something. Another one that was like off a cliff, and this bus or whatever fell off a cliff and it blew up. Trying to think. Donna Keaton, she was driving the vehicle when it was about ready to leave through the gate, and then Jamie Lee Curtis has her last stand. She drove and then stopped, and like she broke her foot on the head. I'm trying. It's hard to remember everything after watching everything, but I thought it was cool. I mean, it was 15 minutes long. It's weird they didn't, on the documentary itself, they didn't talk a lot about Kevin Williamson. I don't know why. But other than that, it's well done documentary. God, it's so weird. It's hard to think of everything that they said because it's 15 minutes long and watching everything else. I really liked it, though. I really liked it. I hate the fact that, I watch it. It's like, oh, God, yeah, this is great, a fucking paramedic at the end. Come on. But I kind of say fuck it. It's Michael Myers, no matter what the fuck anyone says, just because denial, I guess. I don't know, just fuck it. But, I really, liked this. I thought the commentary was fun as well, and again, Jamie Lee Curtis, she gets scared easily in horror films, you could tell, and so when it's scary, let me close my eyes. Let me close my eyes. No, you don't warn me, right? You don't warn me, right? That was a fun commentary track. lively commentary track. And about how if she didn't cut Michael Myers' head off, she didn't want to do the film, and then this was sort of the deal that she had to do in order to get this film made. It's almost like she had to do this in order to get this film made, but she wanted to do this for the fans and have an ending that seemed like an ending. And maybe maybe in her eyes it's because, hey, people didn't watch this and, think of it as the ending. I don't know. But I know Jamie Lee Curtis didn't want to do this. She pretty much had to. I think even the stunt coordinator said that even after the film came out, she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it, this film, but then it was in her contract, and I would assume they probably would have sued her. But Halloween Resurrection, the Blu-ray here, pretty much the same. I think on a previous Blu-ray, it didn't have the webcam thing where it showed just all the webcam footage. I think there was a review somewhere online that said that it wasn't on here. It doesn't say it on the back, but it is on there. I checked it. The only thing I can see that was added from the last DVD, at least. The only new thing I can see is the vintage interviews and behind-the-scenes footage from when they were on set. That's the only thing I can see that was added. Which, okay, that's cool. Pretty much anything they said really wasn't much. Pretty superficial. Just, hey, yeah, I like it. I like being here. Just blah blah blah. It's just bullshit. But so not much added to that. And really, these pretty much if you have the unrated Blu-rays or DVDs, that's what it is. I mean, I hate the movies. The piece of shit. This is the unrated version. Does not have the R-rated version. So it has the version where a fucking asshole rapes someone in front of Michael Myers in a cell for some stupid reason. Only the unrated version. I think and I read some reason why. Something about the studio dimension, I guess, wouldn't let them have both versions of the film or something like that. Dimension, I don't know. Something like that, I don't know. I mean, this has all the features. It's the unrated version with commentary, deleted scenes, alternate ending, featurettes. Has the 4.5 hour documentary that's on the... There's a 3-disc DVD of this. And this one, it's only the unrated version. Commentary, deleted and alternate scenes, blooper reels, all that shit. Pretty much, if you have the stuff from before, it's on there. Yeah, I'll be fair and read everything. Halloween Resurrection. Audio commentary director Rick Rosenthal and editor Robert A. Ferretti. Alternate endings, deleted scenes, featurette headcam. I forget what it's called, the webcam special where they show all the webcam footage. Storyboard analysis. Set tour production designer Troy Hansen. Set interview with Jamie Lee Curtis. Vintage interviews and behind-the-scenes footage. That's the newer thing. Trailer and home video TV spots. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Unrated director's cut with commentary Rob Zombie. Deleted scenes with optional commentary. Alternate ending with optional commentary. And Resurrection, there was optional commentary for the alternate endings and deleted scenes, I believe. But anyway, this Reimagining Halloween featured the many faces of Michael Myers, bloopers, meet the cast, casting sessions, Scott Taylor Compton, screen test, trailer, and then again the 4.5 hour documentary of Michael Lives the Making of Halloween. And then this one, commentary writer director Rob Zombie, deleted and alternate scenes, audition footage, makeup test footage, blooper reel, Captain Clade and the Night Creatures music videos, Uncle Seymour Coffin stand-up routines. And then this one is where you have the bonus disc that's in this set. Now, the bonus disc I thought was really cool as well. As the Halloween H2O one, the first one, Blu-ray, which I didn't have that on Blu-ray. Has the full extended version of John Carpenter's Halloween, where most of the film is in HD. It's just the film. They just plugged in the TV scenes so you can watch it with the film. Thought that was cool. Has that feature from back in the day that's about 27 minutes long. Halloween Unmasked 2000. Has a 40 some minute making of Halloween 4. That was very interesting. About how how the film came about. Alan B. McElroy only had 11 days. About how Tom Morter was Michael Myers and then he got fired. And then they give like explanation, like kind of two. One person says that they didn't like the way he moved, like whatever. Another guy who what's the guy? Ken Horn, I believe, mentioned how they wanted the eyes on the mask bigger, and he's like, "Well, I can't do that because the glue that I would have to use to do stuff, it might fuck up the stuntman." And the stuntman sort of agreed with him. Then they fired Ken Horn, and then some guy from Fangoria said, who's buddies with Ken Horn, says, "If you fire him, I'm not going to do much with your movie in Fangoria. That's publicity." Like, fine, we'll keep your Ken Horn, but they fire the stuntman, which I guess is Tom Morga. For some reason, I want to believe his side of the story. And then they got George P. Wilbur. They talk about how, like, the rooftop scene, originally that was supposed to be the sheriff Bullstar getting a fight with Michael Myers, him dying heroically, but dying in the furnace. Something happens with the furnace, and the whole house is on fire as Alec Cornell Daniels go up to the top. That would have been interesting. They also mentioned why in that one scene you had the white hair on the Michael Myers mask, about how something about the original mask, and it had like a pink face, that the face was pinkish and the hair was white, and Ken Horn was like, "Hey, we need blah 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 blah." Then they give him like 5, 6 more, and they're all like pinkish face with white hair. And I guess like someone was asleep at the wheel at a late night, and they grabbed one of them accidentally and put it on there, and they didn't have time to reshoot it, or they didn't notice until too late. Kathleen Kim and Sasha Jensen talk about their death scenes. Talk about the way the film ended. I'm not going super in depth about it. Then you have that final cut, Halloween 4, that was on the old DVD. You also have the old making of Halloween 5, which was on the older DVD. Then you have a new 40-some minute on the making of Halloween 5. I thought this was interesting as well. No Dominique Othen-Gerard, which I'm not surprised, but nope, don't have him on there, which is strange. A lot of directors, for some reason, are not in the documentaries now that I think about it. Steve Meyer's not in the documentary. He's on the commentary, but he's not in the documentary for H2O. Joe Chappelle, who did Part 6, is nowhere to be found. Dominique Othen-Gerard is not on the documentary for Halloween 5. I don't think Dwight Little is on the documentary for Halloween 4. He's on that commentary, which is an older commentary. So he's not on there for Halloween 4. What's the deal with that? But, interesting. But Halloween 5, I thought it had some good stuff. About the director was eccentric. Talked about some of the problems. It was an unfinished script. That the cast and crew had a lot of parties, including Great Nick Totaro, which I'm weird. Great Nick Totaro was involved. No interview with him, though. Maybe he was busy. I don't know. The Man in Black was added halfway through the film, and no one knew who the fuck he was. They just did it because things weren't working well, and they thought that this would spice it up and get interest for when they'll explain it in Part 6. Yeah, we'll explain it later. About how they thought, oh, maybe this would be cool and this would be cool, and they're making shit up. And then some things that get dropped. Like the stuttering kid, I guess, was supposed to be like a BMX rider who saves Jamie, and then they dropped that. There were fights with the director and Mustafa Akkad. Talk about some of the over-the-top comedy. Danielle Harris herself was not sure why Jamie was mute. Ella Cornell was upset about her death and about originally she was going to get scissors in her mouth, and she's like, I didn't want that. That annoying girl, Wendy Kaplan. Someone mentions about how in the premiere when she died, people applauded. Don Shanes, who again seems like a cool guy who played Michael Myers, it's about how his nose got broken in that end scene when Loomis downplays smacked him in the face. I mentioned all that, but it's not like a whole thing where they're trashing the film. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I think the documentary for Leviathan, that got more trashing than Halloween 5 did. I'm not saying Halloween 5 came out like smelling like roses, but there's not a lot of like trash talking. And again, I know that it's their opinion, but it seems like those three makeup guys in Leviathan trash talked that film a lot more than anybody in Halloween 5 did, which I'm like. But you could tell there was still some stuff. It wasn't like it came out unscathed, but it's like there's a lot of, well, I mean, it's their opinion, but a lot of people talking nice about the actors and stuff, and I'm like, this is such a piece of shit, though. But it's their opinion, but I'm like, I can't help it. I mean, it's Scream Factory. I mean, I'm not saying it's their purpose. It just pissed me off that that gets on Blu-ray, and it seems like the documentary on that got trashed more on the film than Halloween 5 did. That's just my own personal thing on it. You have Season of the Witch radio spots. A lot of these films, you have photo galleries. Like Halloween 7 has a photo gallery. This bonus disc has photo galleries on Halloween 1, 4, and 5. I think the producer's cut does have a gallery on Halloween 6. You have a little interview with the makeup effects artist Tom Berman on Halloween 3. Kind of pointless. Pretty much all I got about was that he suggested at the end when Dan Hurley died, he's like, hey John Carpenter, how about we, when he dies, he kind of turns into a pumpkin head. And Carpenter got pissed, which I don't blame Carpenter. It's a stupid idea. But, there might have been a couple other little stuff, but the only other major thing I can remember is there's about, was it 5 Horrors Hallowed Grounds, which was really cool. Love that stuff with Sean Clark. I love Horrors Hallowed Grounds. Unfortunately, no Robert Russler in these. There's a mention of him in one, which I'll get to, but unfortunately, he didn't show up in any of these. But it's always fun when Robert Russler from Elm Street 2 is in it. But it's really cool. I mean, you got going locations of Halloween 4, and each one is about 20-some minutes, 20, 25 minutes. Location of Halloween 4. The location of Halloween 5 was really cool because you had Don Shanks. Again, Don Shanks, who played Michael Myers, seems like a really cool guy. Talked with Sean Clark. He even mentions, I mean, he mentioned it on other stuff too, but especially on this, about how Michael Myers was supposed to kill a SWAT team, and it was filmed. It even shows Sean Clark what happened. Like, he took a guy and he turned his head around. And he took another guy's M16 and did this. I just love the way you said, and I continued to kill the whole SWAT team. I don't know, just the way you said it, Don Shane seems like a cool guy. I really like watching him talk. I don't know, he just seems like a cool guy, Don Shane's. So, and that was the one, Halloween 5, that Horrors Hallowed Grounds at the end, where Sean Clark's at this convention during the end credits, and you have an appearance from a couple people like Jason David Frank, who's a Power Ranger. This guy who played Robert De Niro's son in Grudge Match, I think he's on The Walking Dead as well. Could be wrong on that. And also Zach Galligan, just making fun of Sean Clark. It's like, look at the picture. You see him older. What is the picture? Is this from 15 years ago? Or just taking his stickers. Are these? Is it free? Okay. How much for the stickers? Pretty much saying if the photos are free, and he just sat down and just taking all the stickers. It was a lot of fun to watch. And even the one for Halloween 6, a lot of fun. It was interesting to watch. And also the first one he did for the original Halloween, which was on this one. But I think this one was a bit longer. I could be wrong. For some reason, it seemed like a little bit longer. I could be wrong though. And then also a bus tour where he had a bunch of people and show them locations for Halloween 1, Halloween 2, and even Rob Zombie's Halloween because it was shot around there as well. And this is hosted by with special guests Dick Warlock, Charles Cyphers, Brian Andrews, Tony Wallace, and Eric Preston. I remember Charles Cyphers, but I don't remember Dick Warlock or Brian Andrews. And Tony Wallace, I saw him like once briefly. I don't remember them. Huh. Maybe I just didn't notice them. But really cool bonus disc. A lot of cool stuff in it. So, I know it's a long-ass video, but if I'm going through a box set with, really 10 movies and with the Rob Zombie, 1 through 8, Resurrection and Rob Zombies and all that stuff. There's a lot to talk about. So, it was going to be a long video anyway. But all I'm going to say is, on one frame of my mind, when I think about it, I'm like, it's really, my one mind is, I'm glad to have this. It was a wonderful gift, and I have no complaints. I think from other person's perspective, I did not have this on Blu-ray, the first film, with all the 35th anniversary edition. But if you did already have that, other than a technical commentary with Dean Cundy, Tony Wallace, and Nick Castle, you already had this. Halloween 2, I already had, because I had it when Stream Factory came out with it. Same with Halloween 3. Had it when Stream Factory came out with it. Halloween 4, I had it on DVD, but as a, if you had the older Blu-ray, you already had this. This is the same thing. I mean, I think this is literally the same disc because it doesn't even have Stream Factory's logo on it. And Halloween 5, I'm not sure it's the exact same as the old Blu-ray, but it seems fairly close to the older Blu-ray. I didn't have it, so it didn't matter to me. I'm glad to have this for the Don Shane's commentary. But there's some people who might have already had it go, well, I already had it. Halloween 6, of course, the producer's cut with all the features. Halloween 7 with all the features. That was really cool. Halloween 8, pretty much everything except maybe the vintage interviews was newer. But yeah, I don't know if that was on the older Blu-ray. I only had it, I had it on DVD for the collection. So I don't know. Then Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2, they're the same unrated stuff that you had before. The bonus disc was really cool, though. So, all I'm going to say is, I'm really glad to have this as a gift. The best parts was the features on the producer's cut. Features and stuff on Halloween 1. Having that on Blu-ray, which is a classic. So, the first film, because I didn't have the older one. The producer's cut, H2O, the bonus disc, those are the ones that I like the most out of it. I also like the commentary with Don Shane's and stuff, but either way, it's a really cool looking set. And thanks to people out there, I now have the Nightmare on Elm Street Blu-ray set, I have the Halloween Blu-ray set. And no, I'm not saying this so that someone buys me it, but one day I gotta get the Friday the 13th Blu-ray set, because I got those two. I gotta get all three of the major ones. So one day I'll get that. But man, this is really cool. Very cool. So thank you so much, First Part 100. If you guys watch for the 80 minutes, I hope you enjoyed. If not, I apologize. But I wanted to do a thorough, in-depth review on this set. Thanks for watching. Take care. I'm going to go to sleep now. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.